Severe weather is still possible here today, January 2nd, 2022, as well as a new winter storm that will come in immediately behind it that will potentially bring in over 2 inches of sleet, as well as over a foot of snow in some of the areas that you might not expect. All the information for you all will be coming up later on in the video. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Nate. I also go by Hockey Boy Nate. Thank you guys so much for coming out to my live stream yesterday. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me. We're so close to getting up to 25,000 subscribers, and we had over 78,000 viewers on that live stream where we live streamed over 9.5 hours. So thank you guys, as I said, once again for the support. If you guys do enjoy the content, as I said, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all the latest information that I will be providing, because more than likely the information that I will be providing will be talking about life-threatening weather or altering weather that could impact your day. So be sure to subscribe if you do think that you'll enjoy that type of content. And as well as please be sure to like the video, because by liking the video, you actually help me get this video out to more and more people on YouTube, essentially helping me spread information about these storms. So thank you guys so much once again, and let's just get straight into the video here with the satellite imagery. We got a couple things here to talk about. First things first, if we take a look down here towards the southeast, you can see that we do have the residual amounts of severe weather indicated in the dark green areas and the yellow areas. The dark green is a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, and the yellow is a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, a marginal risk, and then a slight risk. So if you live here in the portions of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, northern Florida, I highly recommend you watch out for severe weather, as there is the potential for that there. There's also a 5% chance for tornadoes within this general vicinity too. You can see the 2% area indicated in the green and then the 5% indicated in the brown. So watch out for that if you can. I'll zoom in here to show you that areas near Dothan, as well as Albany, Macon, Columbia, Charleston, Savannah, Tallahassee, all the way up towards places like Myrtle Beach and Wilmington is in the 5% chance for tornadoes. So definitely something to watch out for there. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the weather models coming up. But one other thing I want to talk about here that I think is pretty insane is if you guys see all this blue stuff right here, or even this blue and green stuff that goes up into Canada, what the satellite imagery does is it basically looks at how cold the environment is within a specific area. And usually this is used for looking at clouds. I mean, you can see if we zoom out, this is the general flow of the environment here. We have this massive trough that's dipping down through with this new low pressure system behind this. We got another low pressure system that's up here towards the north and west off the coast of Alaska, the British Columbia, and the northwest of the United States. But this here, this cold temperature over here into portions of Kansas, as well as into Iowa, Wisconsin, and heading up into Minnesota, is what the temperatures are at the ground. The satellite imagery is actually picking that up, and that's how cold it is. It is so cold that it is literally seeing it on the infrared satellite imagery, and we have temperatures in upwards of negative 38 degrees Celsius in portions of central to northern Minnesota. That is stupid cold in those areas. So if you live within those areas, I know it can be typically really cold up there, but still you need to watch out for wind chill over there, because that could definitely cause a bit of frostbite. So as I said, there is a 2 out of 5 in the severe weather scale, other known as a slight risk indicated in the yellow, and then the marginal risk indicated in dark green. But then after that, we're not really anticipated to get a whole lot. This is the day 2 convective outlook, which would be for January 3rd. And then we have January 4th, to where they actually forecast no thunderstorms on this day. So nothing really too intense for severe weather coming up. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the simulated radar here with the North American model. Of course, if you want to take a look at the timings, it is above me in Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in Central, subtract 1 hour. If you're in Mountain, subtract 2. And if you're in Pacific, you subtract 3 to get to your appropriate time. Of course, there is a couple areas that I want you guys to watch out for. If you're in the Northeast, you guys can continue to get some lingering rain showers as well as snow showers. If you're in the Southeast here, you guys could get lingering severe weather. You'll see that line begin to develop, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the video. So if you guys want exact timings, you guys might want to skip ahead. And then a bit, we're going to be talking about a bit of this activity up here in towards the northwest, where there could potentially be some more snow. And if you guys also want to watch a little bit more or a little bit later, there's a new snowstorm that'll begin, guess where? in the southeast. So watch how this continues to portray itself. The line passes on through, the snow passes on through, and this new band of snow with all that cold air that was coming from Missouri into Kansas down towards the southeast will create some pretty decent whiteout conditions across much of the areas here of Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, heading on through, and that'll continue to be the case as this races off towards the northeast to where there can be significant amounts of snow across portions of Virginia, Maryland, and into New Jersey, to where there could also be sleet on top of that. And look at this massive boundary here, guys, that extends all the way down into Florida. That's pretty crazy in itself. You also have some lingering showers and thunderstorms as well as snow up here in the northwest. And let's take a look at that a little bit more in depth here with the other North American model here, the lower resolution version, so that we can see portions of British Columbia and Alberta, because they actually are a part of this. You can see as this continues to move about, lingering rain and snow is possible across much of the area here. The area that I would definitely watch out for would most likely be British Columbia heading into the higher elevations of Washington and Oregon, but do not be surprised if areas like Edmonton and Alberta could get a lot of snow here. Of course, on the opposite side of the spectrum, there is expected to be a lot of precipitation to form, and some of this could potentially be rain along here along the coast, so definitely something to watch out for, especially since there could be in some isolated areas 8 inches of potential rain is possible within these areas. Definitely some flash flooding concerns is possible, but on the other hand here, we do have the potential for a lot of snow here across the general vicinity, and I was talking about how Edmonton could potentially get some snow here. You can see how that goes all the way down towards Regina here, and so this is just definitely a really interesting snowstorm to watch out for the most part. But yes, there is expected to be more snow across portions of the northwest, heading off into Idaho, into Montana, as well as into Wyoming, so definitely something to watch out for as this progresses from now until Wednesday. And as we shift over towards the eastern portions of the United States, you can see the lingering snow showers that'll continue to exist across portions of the Great Lakes, heading off and towards Ontario and Quebec, to where Montreal and Quebec could get quite a bit of snow, actually. But then we also have the lingering showers and thunderstorms from yesterday's severe weather event that'll begin to recongeal as a massive line that'll move on through into portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, heading off towards the Carolinas, and then maybe even portions of Virginia. But then as this continues to move on through along the late Sunday morning into the Sunday afternoon hours, look at this here over into portions of the Mississippi River, heading off towards Mississippi. This new storm begins to form, and we have a lot of cold air that's just going to seep right in, and much of Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and even portions of Alabama will continue to get quite a bit of snow and potentially even sleet on top of this, and even areas near the Appalachians could get significant amounts of snow, sleet, even freezing rain in some spots. And then you can see over here towards portions of the Delmarva Peninsula heading towards DC and Baltimore. Originally, they get a lot of rain, but then as this transitions from Sunday into Monday, the early morning hours on Monday, there could be some potentially hazardous traffic issues here with the significant amounts of snow that could fall within a short period of time. So watch out for that, as this could potentially be quite a bit of snow within your general vicinity, and that'll continue to linger on through all the way in towards the midday of Monday. So expect a lot of snow across some of these areas, and expect a lot of snow if you're over here near New Jersey too, because areas near Atlantic City and Toms River could potentially get quite a bit. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention is that this low pressure system and its placement has been tracking further and further towards the north and west. So do not be surprised if there was some flurries over here in the portions of Long Island into New York, maybe even further inland into New Jersey, as well as into portions of Connecticut as well. But do not expect a whole lot of significant snow either, as the main band of snow is going to expect to be somewhat further south of you all. Taking a look at the 500 millibar wind shear here, which is about 6 kilometers above ground level, you can see from the legend at the bottom part of your screen how significant some of the wind shear is in knots. And as this moves on through, you can see that this new low pressure system begins to build all the way on the left hand part of your screen. This big dip here in the jet stream where this low pressure system sits right in the middle of it. This is going to continue to create some pretty significant damaging winds for the most part within this area, and this is expected to amplify as well. But then because we have a lot of wind shear here on the southeastern portion of the low pressure system, this is going to kind of steer it a bit more northeast. So it's not exactly your classic nor'easter, but it could potentially create some snow for the northeast. As we shift over towards the dew point here, you can see how this cold front really does move on through into portions of Alabama as well as into Georgia. And look at this. Look at this right here. Very steep cold front, almost like a dry line that continues to push on through from Sunday into Monday, early morning hours of Monday. And it'll go from really warm to really cold from one day another. When you're sleeping in Georgia on Sunday night into Monday, you're going to think that it's going to be warm the next day, but no, it's going to be cold as all get out as that moves on through. And you guys might even see some snow too as that pushes on through. And man, look at that cold front that surges off the coast as well. Look at these dew points here too. Look at this across the board here in the portions of Arkansas heading in towards the Ohio River Valley, heading off towards the northeast. There is quite a bit of dry dew points in this area, and expect some really cold temperatures that are going to seep in throughout much of the general vicinity. Definitely an Arctic blast if I do say so myself, so watch out for that if you're not used to it. Now here's some of the snow totals that can be anticipated from this event. Of course, according to the North American model, some heavier amounts of snow could be across the Delmarva Peninsula heading off towards the Atlantic City general vicinity, so watch out for that. In some of the Appalachians, there could also be some heavier amounts of snow and upwards of 2 feet too. And that's kind of the ceiling for this event for the most part. I don't anticipate anything over 2 feet at maximum, so that is like the absolute highest that you could potentially get. But I think a good base here for much of this snow here would probably be 1.5 feet across portions of the Delmarva Peninsula, and then even into portions of Baltimore and DC. I would say about 3 to 5 inches of snow near Baltimore, and then further down, probably 5 to 8 inches of snow is potentially possible across much of your general area. But the other thing that I want to draw attention to is over here into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Some of these areas could definitely see some snow showers across the vicinity. Definitely not something to where it could stick quite a bit. You might not see a significant amount of snow, but you guys could see some snow within your general vicinity. So take a look out, watch out for the sky here today on Sundays. You guys could potentially see some flurries within your general vicinity. I would not be surprised if you guys did. And there's even some freezing rain potential here across much of these areas, with a lot of freezing rain potentially expected over here in the higher elevations of the Appalachians into the Shenandoah Mountains. So watch out for that if you're over there and you're expecting to travel through these areas, because roads could definitely get pretty slippery very quickly. So one final thing I do want to look at is the Euro model, and we're going to see how things transpire after all of this happens. So you can see our low pressure system move off of the coast of the United States. You can see that there is the new band of snow that start to march on through in the northwestern portions of the United States as well, heading towards British Columbia. And then as this moves on through, heading off towards the mid and later stages of this week, you can see there is a new low pressure system that begins to form over the Great Lakes, potentially creating some snow across over those areas. But then that's not the major storm that I'm watching out here for. There could potentially be a new low pressure system that could begin to form here from Thursday into Friday, and this could potentially create some snow for the Northeast. This could be classic nor'easter across much of this general area, and you can see how this thing actually moves on through with a 992 millibar low pressure system. This is definitely something to watch out for. Of course, I'll continue to keep you guys updated as this gets closer and closer, so please be sure to stay tuned to the channel if you guys can. Now, our give it to me straight question of the day is for the Skycam tower, all right? If you guys were in our live stream last night, you guys know that this Skycam here in Tuscumbia, Alabama, which is in northwestern portions of Alabama, did a lot of work. It actually showed us a lot of things that what was looking like with most of the storms that was moving on through the general vicinity of Tuscumbia and Florence. So my give it to me straight question of the day for you all is, if this live camera would have a name, what would it be? I'm genuinely curious. If I find the best name out there for this live camera, I'll pin you down below in the comments section. So please be sure to give your thoughts down there in the comments. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, share this with friends and family and on social media. Also follow me on social media. Links will all be in the description down below, and I will see you guys next time when I upload a video. So peace out, everyone.